sorry. With my week off, I've been catching up on some reading, not having to scour the waiver wires for a while. It's been nice. But of course, it is such a large week. We have the divisional rounds upon us, the final four fighting it out for the last two spots in the 2024 MFFGA championship game. So let's get to it. I hope I win, but it's going to take his team having some problems like last week, and it's going to take my team really putting some things together, including some guys who haven't done it.
Yeah. Hey, man, the season's over. I've given up, right?
What?
Welcome to the Chuck&DavePod.
I'm Chuck.
I'm Dave.
This is the pod, and we are in divisional weekend. I've just been calling it divisional weekend. That's probably not the best name for it, but
Final Four.
Can't call it championship weekend. Final four weekend. There we go.
There you go.
I do think wild card works very well now that we have 5 and 6 seeds mixed for the previous week. So the more themed weeks, the better.
Catching up on your Sir Ian Fleming novels?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm working my way through. All of a sudden, all this time is available. All this time that I spent watching these videos and scouring the internet to see if this guy might score 9.5, even though this guy's going to score 9, Freedom.
Yeah.
I see where you were coming from here.
Yeah, sometimes nice. Just to give up.
It's going to be hard to do this for 2 weeks and then have to get back into it next week.
Yeah, right.
Well, I see I'm falling behind because we saw that Jordan completely revamped his team this morning. He swapped out 4 people.
So I think I know what he's doing.
Is he going for the Cleveland offense?
No. I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to guess what other people are going to take, and because he has first dibs on everybody, he's trying to spoil it for every single person.
Nobody else even put in a claim last week.
Nobody even put in anything. He's probably about 2 weeks too late.
But Judy's not a terrible pickup, although now that Winston is gone, I don't think Judy will be as hot. Who's the other guy he picked up? There was there's a running back who's alone now. Who is it? I could look, I guess. Ford, right? Ford?
Yeah.
They picked up Jerome Ford. Now, the interesting thing about it is that he didn't even bother waiting to swap players. He ditched the 4 beforehand. He didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was all about picking up, which, it didn't matter because he's going to get them all regardless. But yeah, it was a little strange that nobody else went for much. Not that there's a ton out there. Dalton Kincaid isn't going to change his team. McMillan is probably going to be very he's gotten 2 good weeks, but he hasn't done much since then. Is he a new guy? I don't know. Sort of thing. But actually, I was last week, Sam, originally I was like, man, I think you should do either Judy or Jennings in place of Samuel. And I didn't really get to look into it. I probably would have pushed Judy more. But then he had put Jennings in, and I was like, it's probably all right. And then I thought, the week started off on Thursday with that rainy, very non-scoring game between San Fran and the Rams. And I was like, oh, shoot, I set him up bad. But it turned out it didn't matter. But if he had done Judy, he would have taken the top score of the season. So I'll always be holding that.
If he would have taken Jarrett, or if he would have gotten Judy
instead of
last
Jennings.
Week, he would have taken the top score.
He would have had the highest score of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Juwan Jennings held him down there. But
yeah. And I didn't think it's something I never really think about in fantasy. And for everything else I think about, I probably should occasionally check on what the weather is going to be in some games, especially as
it has that weather icon next to it.
But that weather thing just annoys me because I'll be trying to move my cursor onto the name of the team and it'll be 84 degrees. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I should be paying more attention to it, and when it's going to be rainy, maybe reconsider. If you got a good player, it's a good player. It's not like Nakua still did very well and everything. But
yeah.
points go down a little bit. So what a wild card weekend we had. Very high scoring for 3 of the 4 teams. Very exciting. It wasn't particularly close. Everything was pretty well decided before Sunday night even rolled around. But just the sheer number of points going on there is exciting.
Lots of points.
Like if an NFL game ends 55, like, yeah, it was a blowout, but it's more exciting.
Yeah, they I think you guys messaged that said, like, I think you even messaged and said these projections are turning out to not even be that close. And I saw Josh was projected to win when you said that, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. I was a little but still had a lot of players to go yet. I spoke too soon.
Yeah, it was pretty early. I mean, I think you messaged that at 2:00, so the noon games weren't even done yet.
Yeah, projections don't matter a whole lot when you still have 5 players to go. When you're down to just a couple, it means more. But I also then sarcastically threw out a comment about how Monday night was gifting us, since it had 2 games with this, and apparently Jordan did not. He thought I was being quite serious about the fierceness of the battle that was about to ensue.
No. Unfortunately, nobody had really any players. Josh had the best chance to maybe try to stoke a comeback, but he needed a lot of help.
Yeah, and even then, I think Sam still had 3 players going that night, so it was going to be hard to.
No, he had 1. It was his defense.
Was it just his defense? Well, his defense did well, if I remember correctly. Everything did well. So, shall we start talking about the games?
Yeah.
There were but 2 games to talk about this week, and I believe we both nailed them as far as the winners.
We did.
We're 100%.
And Josh did not. Now, I'm not 100%. I'm sure he picked himself because he always does. But I don't know if he picked Dad because he just needed to be the contrarian to help his points up.
You probably just want to care to lose.
It's possible. I doubt he thought Dad had a chance to win, but
yeah, he certainly hadn't been trending in the right direction.
No, he was not. Yeah, let's start with that one actually. While we're talking about it,
the Fergals versus the Blue Golds. This is the second year in a row, I think. Was it last year? Let me double check here before I start spouting lies. I am incorrect. Sorry, no. The 6 seed lost last year, but it won this year. The 5 seed won last year, and it won again this year as well. So, so we had. I'm on the wrong one. This was just shy of the biggest blowout ever in postseason by just 5 points. The biggest blowout currently in our Yahoo era was 68.42 in 2021 when Jordan did that to Josh. So it was pretty close to being the top blowout. Certainly, it's not common to see someone scoring in the 70s when there's the 3 seed.
Yeah.
But he was really trending down for a while here towards the end.
Yeah.
Of the year. Cup and Tua. I mean, Cup getting a 0. That's rotten luck. I think I heard on the radio it was only the 3rd time in his career he's had 0 receptions.
That's
in the game. So it hurts. It hurts. Yeah. Tua, he finally switched out Mahomes.
Now, granted, Mahomes did not put up anything like super stellar, but
no, he certainly did better than 3.
Jared Goff would have been obviously the better choice.
I mean, it wouldn't have won the game for him, but it would have been a little bit more respectable score. But it's hard to get a quarterback to only get 3 points, and they play the whole game. That is tough to do, honestly. Oh yeah, he's still carrying Jared Goff too.
Yep.
Interesting. I mean, but Goff is so up and down, but that 43 would have helped him a lot. It still would not have. A 40-point swing would not have done it, but
no.
And then just around the rest of it, Pacheco, we talked about it. We said Pacheco wasn't going to do good. I guess he seemed resigned to the fact that there was just nobody out there that he could have improved upon. It seemed last week with Pacheco there.
Yeah.
it would probably behoove him to try to take almost anybody other than a Chiefs running back. But he does continue to. I think Jonnu Smith has been the hottest tight end the last 3-4 weeks. So he's got that going for him. But,
thanks, Alex. We know where your priorities lie. Good. That means I can go on a tirade on how Dan Marino sucks. He's the worst quarterback to play the game. Actually, no. I do think Dan Marino's a good quarterback. Alex, I don't agree with the fact that you think that you can just regurgitate stuff that ChatGPT says and you can call that an argument. That's BS. If you're going to argue with me, actually use your brain. Don't use Siri or ChatGPT or Grok or whatever. You gotta think of arguments on your own.
I don't understand his logic here, though. He's going to be chatting with another group of people, so he can't listen to the pod.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've texted people while we're on the pod.
Yeah,
like you can chat in both at once. That's not that hard to do, especially a guy like him. He seems like the kind of guy that usually has 3 or 4 forms of media up at any given time.
I mean, he probably has 17 monitors, so
stimulation everywhere going on, but that's all right. His loss. So on the other side of the coin here, the Fergals put up just another great game. They're third over 140 in the last 4 weeks. They're the only team this year, and for how great the Lambs have been throughout the year, they have never put up even back-to-back 140s, much less 3 out of 4 140s at a time here. Just Jaden Daniels put it together. Everybody except Tyreek Hill and Tucker. I mean, 21 out of the defense. Chase Brown has got to be in the running for one of the best waiver wire pickups here.
Yeah, just solid.
I think Chase Brown is a legitimate keeper candidate for her next year. Of course, it would depend on if because who was ahead of him? I can't remember. Who was the Cincinnati guy?
He went out, right?
Was he injured or did he just get passed? I don't remember.
I can't remember.
Well, Brown's doing so well, I can't imagine that they would just relegate him to some backup part next year. But she's actually got quite a few potential keeper positions there. Maybe she'll not go with quarterback again.
Probably not.
On that. But yeah, she just everything, worked out really well for her to get the 142. It was never close. It was really never within doubt.
What's the embarrassment of riches, though, is the fact that she could have broken the record if she would have put Devontae Adams in and Chase McLaughlin instead of Justin Tucker. I mean, to be fair, she beat Todd with her bench as well. Yeah. With her bench,
she still beat him by 30 points.
Yeah.
Like she has points coming out of her ears.
She nearly beat him with him and his bench combined.
Yeah.
Nearly. Not quite, but
how could she not have beat him with his bench combined? Oh, with him and it's just him and his bench combined. Gotcha. Yeah.
With just his, because he's at like 155. So
sometimes you get a team where it's like they have a lot of great players, but which one's going to be the ones to score big that week? And in her case, it's like she can't go wrong right now, other than Tyreek Hill, which is like completely blows the mind. He's probably the most deserving guy to be put on the bench.
Yeah,
the way things have been, but
it sounds like he may not be playing this week, so I think she'll get a reprieve in the fact that she doesn't have to make that decision. She can just pull him. And honestly, Justin Tucker, like, I don't know. It's tough.
How do you bench him?
How do you bench him? But at the same time, he's not playing that well.
It looks like they're at the point where they don't want to be kicking field goals because perhaps he's too risky. Now, of course, the Giants, I mean, maybe they didn't need to, obviously, but he hasn't been putting up big numbers. If your kicker's your weakest point and he's still putting up normally 7 or 8, you're probably going to be okay. So she moves to 8-7. The Blue Golds drop to 8-7 with that one. Also, what did I put here? I had written this down somewhere. If I remember correctly, it moves. I'll just look it up to make sure. But I believe that Kara against Todd all time in the playoffs now. She's 3-0, I believe, against him. Yes, she is 3-0 against Todd in the playoffs, so she has never lost to him in the postseason. In fact, both victories went to teams that now have kind of an overwhelming edge against the other person when it comes to postseason, which is just interesting because you don't play each other in the postseason that often.
No.
So to take some sort of an edge is tough.
Yeah.
So, well, you got anything else on that one?
That's all I got to say is a pretty dominant win.
It really was.
Yeah.
So let's go to another very dominant win.
Yeah.
But at least both teams were pretty dominant.
Pretty dominant, yeah. Obviously one more than the other, but
yeah, I mean, I generally do not feel empathy towards Josh ever, but
sorry, Josh.
But I do feel when you get to the playoffs, and honestly, his team's been a little up and down, but he's had some issues where when he has a good week, his opponent happens to have a better week.
Mm-hmm.
But so you get to the playoffs, obviously he did not. He ended up in the 4 seed, which isn't bad. And then you put up a 132, which is like 9 out of 10 times you're going to win. And then you go against the guy that got like a 177. Bad luck.
Yeah, it's just bad luck.
Now, maybe I'd rather face the 177 than like a 140 and have been really close. Because there's no what ifs when you get blown out by 177.
No.
We've only gotten into the 170s like 6 times in our history, so that doesn't happen. But looking at Josh's team, the numbers are big pretty much all the way down, except for Brock Bowers, who's on his third string quarterback now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Everybody put up double digits except Baltimore then with 7, which is still fine for defense.
Yep. I mean, it's hard to complain about 27 on quarterback, 30 for Amon-Ra St. Brown, 15 for T. Higgins. How the heck that guy is playing T. Higgins? That
was a bold move, I'll tell you that. Now, I know Todd doesn't believe in this, but he's kind of developing a trend of big, small, big.
It kind of is, yeah.
We'll see how that goes.
I really have never trusted T. Higgins to be anything.
I would not trust him.
And I mean, Jonathan Taylor, definitely that foible hurt Josh. It was not the decider, but
a little drop the ball early thing. You don't see that often on that level.
Yeah. No.
Now he did use his bench very well. He did not leave many points on the bench, just neighbors, I guess. Only would have given him 8 more points or something. So it's not like he can really have bench regret over there. But he put up a good fight there. He, however, did miss out. He is not the highest scoring losing team in postseason history. The Kara in 2020 put up 136 and lost.
I think it was the Fergals.
I think that was a championship game, maybe too.
Well, that's going to get beaten out next week by Alex because Alex is going to score 160 and Sam's going to score 190. So,
I would love to see the fallout from Alex if he puts up a 165 and loses.
It'd be hilarious.
I mean, he's already admitted that last year just doesn't count. He's completely revised last year in his brain. He's got that win down. It's a good thing he ended up missing out on the top seed by 2 games, so it wasn't just the Kittle issue.
Yeah.
Because if there's a conspiracy theorist in our midst, it's that guy.
Yeah, it's true.
So let's pivot over to the Musk Oxen's absolute dominance.
Whew. Again, Sam throwing the whole I'm gonna put my chips behind one team and just ride it till the end, and
it's working better this year than last year. I'll tell you that.
Keeps working. I don't get it.
It's Bills City.
Yeah,
and we're just living.
It's hard. It's hard to have a team where you get a quarterback, wide receiver, and a running back, and they're all pretty equal contributors, minus like Khalil Shakir.
Here's the thing, Shakir wasn't until just last week, and now suddenly he has put the burners on. It's his first time getting 2 games in a row with a touchdown all season.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's
perhaps finding a role.
Yeah, he's becoming his
Josh
favorite.
Allen is throwing like an absolute maniac.
Yeah,
they're going to catch the ball. But then usually when that's happening, your running back suffers, but he still got 30.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's just eating there because they're putting up so many points.
Yeah.
And it's just been insane. Josh Allen has put up over 40 points 2 weeks in a row. Like, that's crazy.
We'll put up 100 points in 2 weeks is insane.
I mean, I think he'll probably get the MVP in real life, but he certainly deserves MVP for the fantasy.
Yeah.
I think this year. The only guy that did do poorly for Sam is Jennings. But it didn't matter.
And honestly, Sam, you're listening. I know you're here. I'd throw Juwan Jennings on your bench probably for the rest of the postseason. Don't put Deebo Samuel in there either.
Well, who would he put in?
I don't know. Anybody else?
Well, he can't take Judy anymore, but I wouldn't recommend Judy as much either. But we can talk about that when we look at his matchup for next week. But gosh, 20. How many of his players top 20? 1, 2, 3, 4 of his players top 20 points, and one was 19.6. So basically 5 players hit 20 points.
Yeah.
It's just one of those weeks where everything
went well.
And this came in as I kind of put out there on the Discord yesterday. I guess I need to cross-check it and put it in the Bros Weekend Discord as well. But it's it's lots.
Yeah, I didn't actually look at your team yet, Sam. I don't know who you'd swap him out with. You mean definitely don't swap him out with Deebo. That'd be a downgrade.
You just keep paying attention, Sammy.
I mean, right now you can keep Juwan Jennings in there, but
so he slots in as the 5th highest score of all time in Yahoo, I guess, era. And what's crazy, and we've talked about Sam's lackadaisy attitude towards fantasy. He just takes what the computer gives him, makes sure nobody's got a 0, and then moves on with his week. Yet 3 of the highest 5 scoring games of all time are Sam teams. The computer giveth and giveth and giveth to him. And he did it each one with a different team name. He's done it with the Ferrets, the Nincompoops, and the Muskoxen. So sharing the wealth with that there. It's crazy to me that you have a game, though, again, to credit to Josh, where someone scored 177 and they didn't get the biggest blowout award.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Yep.
The Muskoxen are now 8-5 all time in the postseason. So they have a 60% win rate when the pressure is the hottest. They have the best postseason record of anybody. And he's now 4-1 against Josh in the postseason.
Wow.
Which is quite a throttling.
That is.
What did I write down here? I don't see how Sam won't. Looking at just kind of all-out records here, it seems like there's no way that he's not going to take the top point here. I think by the end of the season, he's going to be number 1 in all-time postseason points. He was passed. He was passed last year by Jordan, since Jordan played 3 games and he'd only played 2. But I think he's going to play 3 games this year. Jordan's only playing 1, and he already put up a 177. So I think it's pretty clear that he's going to take the most postseason. Nobody else is close enough to take it. So
that's pretty crazy.
Now, if we do by average points, I'm sure Rich is the postseason.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if I have the average on here. Let me check real quick. Oh, he averages right now, before this last week's game, he was averaging 114 points per postseason game. Jordan was averaging 117.
Wow.
You want to hear?
I don't even know what I average.
You're in last place.
Of course I am.
Apparently in the postseason. Now, of course, you did throw in 2 zeros which heavily skews this average.
That's true.
But you average apparently 91 points per postseason game.
That's actually higher than I thought it would be for 2 zeros.
2 zeros in there.
I'm pretty happy with that, actually.
We'll see if you can eke that number up a little bit.
Just a tad.
Just a tad. Yeah, I don't think it's going to get lower.
Yeah.
At all here. So I guess technically Alex is leading. He has a 131 average, but he's only played 2 postseason games. So I generally don't count him in these kind of records for things. So just a real high scoring game. It takes what did I write here? It takes the top spot in postseason for composite score between 2 games as well, with 310, I think, something like that it was. Wow. So just a big game all around.
Well, that's good.
And I'd be remiss to not mention those bye teams this week. If we rank them all out, the Lambs were the top bye team with a 134. The QPCs got 126, the Puffins 116, and the AWOLs 88. Which ones were actually set up or anything, I don't know. I didn't do a lot of arranging, but I did make sure that there was nobody out.
I did not arrange mine at all.
I don't think that Jordan did. I think Alex did. But he had a pretty good solid week there with the 134. So I do take comfort knowing that had I made the playoffs, I would have played him this week and I would have lost.
To Alex, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I would have lost to Alex this week.
You take comfort in the fact that you'd have lost to Alex?
Well, I mean, I got so close to getting him but didn't get it. So the best I could have gotten would have been 5th. I'd still rather have 5th, but how would that be going?
Yeah.
If I would have gotten it, it would have been me and Alex, and then it would have been Kara and Sam. So Kara would have been kicked out. So she was 177 to 142. That would have been a heck of a game.
Yeah.
There. So, but we're not going to play with what ifs. Doesn't matter. So that's last week.
All right, on to next week or this week.
Final 4. I did make a new stat in our all-time records. Previously, the stat was simply for playoff qualifications, but since it has moved from 4 to 6, I thought it was also pertinent to have a Final 4 category put in. So obviously, I know we mentioned last week that Sam and Josh are tied for the most playoff qualifications with 6. Sam stands alone now, though, with Final 4 qualifications. 5 of the 7 years he has made the Final 4.
That's insane.
He knows something, I guess.
I have no idea how that's even makes sense. Make it make sense.
Well, when you
does the exact same thing as my dad.
Chance. Yeah.
He does almost nearly the same thing as my dad, and my dad's like, this is my dad barely ever makes the Final 4.
Well, the difference is that your dad does try to update his team throughout the year. He tries to work on it, whereas Sam doesn't.
Unless, and here's a huge conspiracy theory. Sam, you can let us know if we're correct on this. Sam works for some very wealthy individual that he does not name to us and will not tell us ever because he is signed in blood that he cannot tell us. What if it's Adam Schefter?
Oh, gosh.
Or Colin Cowherd?
That would explain why he's flying all.
It would explain so much.
It really would. He's probably not in Salt Lake.
We should probably track his games and be like, if he's in different cities, if New York's on Monday night and he's like, yeah, I got to go to New York on Monday.
Well, I mean, I think maybe.
All
these times he said he was in Salt Lake, perhaps he was in Buffalo.
Oh, that's true. Maybe it's Josh Allen.
Maybe Josh Allen is his boss.
Maybe it's just Josh Allen. That's why he's been so.
That's why he's been
so loyal to him.
He'll keep him up to round 1 if he has to.
Huh? Sam?
Shed some light on that, Sam. Now, if Sam fails to make the Final 4 next year, there are 4 teams that are positioned to tie him That'd be me, Kara, Josh, and Jordan are all at final four appearances. So they could jump up there in time. Ooh, we got
Zippy mouth.
Ooh, that is not a no.
Not a no.
All right, so we are on to the final four here, but I think the first one we should probably talk about is the consolation match.
Yeah, let's do the consolation match.
For 5th place, Josh's second year in a row, trying to get that sweet 5 spot after falling last year to Sam. 2 years in a row, he's lost to Sam there. Well, he won't lose this time to Sam in this round. But meanwhile, the Blue Gold, this will be the first time in 2 years that they did not finish in the top 4. After finishing second last year, dropping to 6th could put them. Well, no, Jordan's obviously the biggest faller.
Yeah.
First to last, no matter what, when it comes to that. But there's a lot of big fallers this year. Only one team from last year's Final Four made this year's Final Four. And that's Alex. Of course. And of course, that means conversely, only one team that didn't make last year's Final Four again failed this year, and that would be Josh.
Oh, Josh didn't make the Final Four last year. That's right.
So that's really, some people would say that's the disheartening, but it really just builds that tenacity and grit.
Grit
in people. The more adversity you face, the more adversity you face, the more.
True.
So we've got the number 4 Flemoids who are 7 and 8 versus the 3 Blue Golds who are 8 and 7. So in week 2, the Flemoids won 149 to 83. But in week 10, the Blue Golds won 130 to 111. All time, Todd leads barely 8 to 7, and they have met twice in the postseason before, and they have split 1-1. So only their third meeting in the playoffs here. So a couple just kind of thoughts here. The Flemoids are coming off a high-scoring loss, but they've been a bit spotty lately. They're 2-4 in their last 6 games, but they're averaging 119 in those games, which is not terrible by any stretch. Meanwhile, the Blue Golds have cooled quite a lot lately. They're coming off a terrible week. They have some quarterback issues, apparently. They've got the Pacheco problem. They're on a 4-game losing streak. If they lose this game, they will end up as the 3 seed, but tying for the longest losing streak of the year.
Oh, what's the longest losing? How long? How much?
The longest losing streak this year is 5 games.
And he's lost 4 in a row.
Lost 4 in a row, so he could tie Jordan.
Wow.
Jordan lost weeks 5 through 9, and he would go into next year with a 5-game
with a loss, so he could continue it.
Now, of course, getting to that elusive 11, which is also set by. How did Sam have time to put an 11-game losing streak in his non-ending playoff years?
We don't know. We don't get it.
How does this man do it?
We don't understand. Somehow he's dominant and non-dominant at the same time.
He just has all the records. The record book is just Sam Spencer all the way down.
Sam Spencer, you are the Brett Favre. You're the Tom Brady or Brett Favre of.
You got it all.
Yeah.
So overall, we got 2 teams kind of trending in different directions here, and the projections kind of seem to say that as well. So what are your thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, I think there's going to be some changes. I'm assuming my dad will swap out Tua.
Will he do Goff or Mahomes? He's got Goff against the Bears.
Goff against the Bears. I mean, that's divisional, so that's a toss-up. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is divisional too, and he hasn't been playing very well. We don't even know what's going on. High ankle sprain.
The Chicago gives up the fewest points to opposing QBs. That's kind of crazy.
It is pretty crazy.
Maybe, yeah, Mahomes on that ankle thing. That's kind of. He doesn't even have a question.
He's not even. No, because he's practiced.
But could it get aggravated?
All it takes is a little roll up,
Yeah.
I mean, he's been dealing with that ankle
the entire. His protection has been terrible. So a couple of sacks. Who's available on the waiver wires for quarterbacks?
Mm.
I really like how they've redone the player list, by the way. on Yahoo. Credit to them. Like everything is just like a single button push now instead of having to like set a bunch of things and then click search.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
So Justin Herbert is the projected one, but he's against Denver. I don't know if I love that. Richardson against Tennessee. Maybe Stafford against the Jets is worth a shot.
I think honestly his best bet is probably just doing Goff and hoping that
the Bears
just overcomes the Bears. I mean, they're good enough. I would just assume he's gonna.
Goff probably has the best floor of those three.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I think this will probably be pretty even. I think Josh is a little over projected, but
I feel like when I look at the matchups here, I think that the Blue Golds win with Chase, Swift, Smith, and the kicker. And I think that the Flemoids win with Hurts and Taylor, and everything else is basically a tie. When I was looking at these matchups, honestly, my gut was telling me the Blue Golds almost look primed to get this one. But the projections are not high. I think that Pacheco's 10 is probably higher than he's going to get. I don't know if I love Philadelphia's defense against Washington. I wouldn't be surprised to see that change. Garrett Wilson's going to be very up and down. It's going to depend. And, will Chase put up like a 40 this week?
Yeah. It's a lot.
Meanwhile, Josh's team, you got Hurts is doing well. St. Brown. I don't expect Higgins to put up big numbers again.
No.
Brock Bowers is having troubles now with the third string guy. Neighbors is very hit or miss. He's been, I guess he got 120. He's been kind of hit and miss because who knows, their quarterback situation. Baltimore's defense against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh might not score a lot, but they could get 21 points off of just kicking field goals.
Can the pro Pickens be put in here again? Oh yeah, you want me to pick your?
Take your pick. Put it in. Flemoids or Blue Golds on this one.
Absolutely. Blue Golds.
We love it when people put their picks in. So this one's actually really tough. I think it's going to be close, and I really wanted to almost say the Blue Golds if I was looking at it in a vacuum, but I can't. I see the way the Blue Golds have been recently and how the Flemoids have been recently, so I'm going to pick the Flemoids to get their first postseason victory since 2022 and get the 5th position.
I'm going to pick Todd. I'm going to pick my dad. It's more of a gut. Ooh, that's fair. Sam is also picking the Blue Golds.
That's fair. I would not be shocked if this one goes either way, to be fair. It would feel like a very Josh thing for him to lose.
It's a toss-up. So
I would say it's a toss-up. To be fair, Todd is currently the underdog, and I've only done underdog and favored losses for 2 years, but he's probably looking at a record here. He's had 7 underdog wins this year. 7 of his 8 wins were from an underdog position. So he doesn't win when he's favored, but he does win when he's an underdog.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
If someone's going to do it, it could be him for sure. Speaking of that, we only have 6 games left. Is there really any chance of I would need you to lose 5 of those 6, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
So that's probably not going to happen. Congratulations.
No.
Certificate that you never mail us.
Yeah, it's true. I'll do better this year. I'll do better this year.
It's fine. As long as the right person.
All right, we'll leave the primetime matchup for last. We'll do QPCs versus the Fergals, my team versus Kara, the battle of the wedded. I don't know. The battle.
You can't actually just say the colors because there is very frequently a color grudge match.
Marriage battle.
I mean, is it even possible to have a single week where no 2 colors are playing each other? I don't think so because there's 5 colors. So somebody's always playing
like
a color against the color.
So I will say, and I'm saying this with some humility, I think I am the least scary opponent in the Final Four.
I would
I think
100% agree.
I think if somebody was to say I want to play somebody in the Final Four, they would pick me because I am the least scary. I have a very, very easily predictable ceiling, and that is 130 points.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That is all I'm going to score.
Well, Sam's already picking you. He's taking the QPCs. He hasn't even gotten to our in-depth breakdown. He's already doing the in-depth breakdown. So here's some facts here. We got the number 6 Fergals, who are 8-7, versus the number 1 seeded QPCs, who are 10-4. And you guys are the second case of a 4th matchup this year, so you know each other very well.
This is rivalry.
It has been the rivalry. Week 2, you won 134-109, but week 8, the Fergals won 126-92. I believe that was your lowest score of the year. And then week 14, you bounced back. Was it not the lowest?
I think I got an 88.
Oh, maybe. You have 100 games?
I think so.
Crazy. You bounced back in week 14. So for you, this is actually your second match against Kara in just a row. 120-101, but it was heavily assisted by a George Pickens injury on that one.
Actually, you are right. I only did that. 92 is my lowest, but I did have a 99.1 against the Blue Golds.
Ooh. Did you win that one?
No, I lost.
You lost that one.
152-99, week 6.
So all Yahoo, you guys have played each other 21 times. This is your 22nd meeting. And Kara currently has the lead 11-10. So very, very close, basically 50-50. This is your 5th postseason meeting with each other, including last year's riveting 7th place match. And you guys are tied 2-2.
So is this the first time we've played each other in the in a top seeded?
Well, you haven't even had that possibility
in 3 years.
Let's see. It's possible in 2020 you played her because she finished 2nd and you finished 3rd. Yeah, you would have played her in the playoffs of 2020 in the first round, and
I lost.
You were the 1 seed, and she beat you.
Oof. She's my. So you're saying she's my 49ers?
Yeah, apparently she's your 49ers right now. But kind of what you were saying, the QPCs have had a very consistent season. It's not very common you see a team this consistent, but it has had fall off recently. Remember, you started with basically 5 games in a row of 130. The 5th game was 129.8, whatever. We're going to call it 130. But your last 5 games have only averaged 118, and you haven't hit 130 in 5 weeks. But you still managed to go 4-1 in that time.
Yep.
The Fergals, meanwhile, are hot. They have scored over 140 in 3 of their last 40. Only team to do so. They've only gone 3-2 in that time, though. But they're averaging 130 points in their last 5 weeks together. So you're going to get back to your early season ways and make this a 130-130 tie.
Let's hope. I mean,
love this playoff tie. Now, you have tied Kara in the past in the postseason when you both got 0.
We did.
And you lost. You lost on the tiebreaker.
I did. On the tiebreaker.
So I guess that's in the record too. So that's one of those 2 losses you've had to her was the zeros.
Yeah. So yeah, I love my team, but they frustrate me sometimes. I do not. Saquon Barkley's my linchpin here. If he plays well,
since he got the 53, he hasn't cracked 20.
I know. He's really struggling.
It's like teams are really starting to sell out against him.
Yeah.
Which we then saw with, unfortunately, A.J. Brown, who is on your opponent's team.
Yep.
Getting the benefits of that. Now, which way the Eagles will go is tough to know. Are they going to run it a ton or are they going to throw it a ton? That may well be part of the deciding factors in this matchup.
Yep.
When I look at you guys, it looks really close. The projection is really
super close. Now, I will say my Alvin Kamara is still up in the air. He has had 0 updates, at least on Yahoo, about the game. He's nursing an adductor injury, a groin injury, which is usually pretty rough.
And really, I don't think I guess technically the Saints are still in it. Right? They could technically still.
Yeah, I think they're still.
There's only like one NFC team still that's actually eliminated, or 2. It's not. It's weird. Like most of them are effectively
Bears, I think, right?
Well, the Bears were. I think 4 are eliminated now. Maybe last week there was only 1.
So, yeah, I may swap in Brian Thomas Jr. It's an option.
You want to stay on at least. It's a Monday night game, so that does not help.
Nope.
Yeah, you might be. I mean, to be fair, at least Ryan Thomas is playing a crappy team.
Yep.
And he's been doing pretty well the last 3 weeks against better teams. So that could be something to do there. When I look at these matchups, I guess for this one, I think that the Fergals get the quarterback. I think they get the flex, the tight end, and Jacobs. And I think that you get but I don't think by much, you know what I mean? Like even the things where she has an advantage isn't bad.
I mean, I'm assuming she's gonna swap out Tyreek for like McLaurin or Devontae.
So. Now one thing here now is Drake London will have the fresh rookie Penix throwing to him for the first game.
Yeah, that's gonna suck.
So either it's going to be the thing with like new quarterbacks coming is they tend to like latch on to some random third string guy that they've been practicing on the practice squad.
That is true.
So London might have a bad game, but maybe he also is like his safety pin and he becomes a good game on that one. If Geno Smith is out, I think your Minnesota defense will do very well.
Yeah. Should eat.
Either way, he's going to be hurt. I don't know. Your team could go off and do really well, but it's going to need hers to not. I mean, Josh Jacobs has been going crazy.
I know. And they're going to keep feeding him. It's going to be in Green Bay, and it's going to be cold. He's getting the ball.
Oh, for sure. Well, there's no reason not to.
Yep.
I mean, as a Packer fan, you'll like this, but you probably in your championship hopes don't want to be seeing another like last week where the first 12 plays were just all Jacobs, like that. But if it works, right?
Yeah.
So I think your best bet is to hope that the Philly-Washington game kind of keeps them focused on like the throwing gets shut down, so they have to just feed Barkley. And that San Francisco kind of limits Achane. If you can get that to happen, I think you win because that's kind of her biggest.
It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough.
Thing. So when I look at this, I think this could very well be 130 to 125.
Yeah.
But I have to pick the Fergals. I think they're just hot.
You know what? I was gonna pick Kara.
So bad. I want it to be a Sam Dave championship so bad. I want you to get to the championship game, but I don't know. I got to get my pick right. So
I'd be okay with. I'm when it comes to Kara.
Either way, right? You win either way.
Mm-hmm. She deserves her time in the sun too.
I believe she's only made 1 championship appearance.
Yeah.
You have made 1. She has made 0 championship appearances. That is not right. That is a lie. Oh, no, that's championships. Sorry, finals.
Yeah.
She's made it once. You've made it once. Now, of course, you made it in the NFL.com.
Yeah.
Of course, too. So, well, Sam is picking you. Who are you picking?
I'll pick myself. I'll go.
It's close enough. You got.
I actually don't know. It's a coin flip for me, and it really depends on how well my team is. I look at like somebody like Alex and Sam. I look at Sam's team and I just drool because you're just like, man, you can't go wrong. Like you just really can't. Like everyone's gonna score big.
Lately,
again, it doesn't fail.
Sam has more sub-100 weeks than you do.
Yeah, but not recently, and it doesn't look like it's going to slow down. I don't see, because now you're in the whole like MVP thing. Like, if you think about it, they're going to be pushing they're going to want Josh Allen to get the MVP this year. So they're going to be like they're going to be stack padding everything they possibly can, minus him getting hurt.
He either starts throwing tons of interceptions, or like Barkley starts taking exclusively direct snaps and just running nonstop. I don't see how he doesn't get MVP.
But
things happen.
All
I would love it to be a running back, but so then the last matchup, probably the most anticipated game, although they're both very anticipated, of course.
Yeah,
with Jets championship hopes resting on them. We have the number 2, 8-6 Lamb of Gods versus the number 5, 8-7 Musk Oxen. In week 3, the Musk Oxen won 120-80. I believe that was the last time the Lambs scored under 100. And then in week 11, the Lambs won a very tight 127-124. All time, the Lambs are go
Vikings 11-2.
Wrong pod, man.
There we go. Yeah, sorry.
Is that your Garrett?
Yeah.
How did he get here? Garrett, activate the ESPN league so I can get the stats. Or the NFL league.
The NFL. I think I did the ESPN, but I'm not 100% sure. But
the
ESPN, those stats are gone forever.
But I'm so close, but I need the league to open up again on NFL to be able to go back and check the history and get those sweet, sweet stats. I will pull all-nighters. I can just get a 24-hour window.
Sweet, sweet stats.
So all-time, obviously, Alex has only been around for 2 years. He's 3-1 against Sam. And
you did.
In the postseason. The last time I witnessed a Vikings victory at Lambeau was in Dave's dad's seats. I've heard great things about Dave's dad's seats.
And he's been in them. He will say he's never been in them, but he's been in them. You sat in them. Literally, we were sitting in the seats.
Well, I might have sat in it on accident during the Lambeau tour or something.
No, you were there. You and I went to a game.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Do you still play fantasy?
I don't know.
Let us know. Are you still in it? And how are you doing this year if you are?
All right.
So back to the game here.
Yes.
The Musk Oxen are almost literally on fire lately. They have 3 in a row over 130, and in the last 3 games, they're averaging 150. Can they maintain this pace, though? If you ask Alex, he likes to say something's got to break.
Yeah. Something's got to give.
I thought I was grocery shopping. No, that was when I went to the Harlem Globetrotters.
That was Harlem Globetrotters, Sam.
Or maybe Spam-A-Lot, one of the two.
No, that was Harlem Globetrotters. Yeah.
He's only 4 weeks removed. This is Sam and the Musk Oxen. He's only 4 weeks removed from having 3 of 4 games in a row be under 100.
Getting absolutely wrecked in my extended family. Yeah, that sucks, man. I've been there for 3 years now. Absolutely wrecked.
I had a bad year. I wouldn't say I was absolutely wrecked.
Now I'm in the finals. Final 4. I'm in the Final 4 at least.
Hope springs eternal.
Yes.
I saw a thing.
I mean, this is a lot of work. I traded away. I traded for draft picks
like crazy last year.
I tanked
to get this. To just be in the Final 4 as probably the weakest contender.
And I know Josh and Alex are just praying that I don't make it because they do not want vindication here. They do not want me to be rewarded for my bad behavior.
That's true. Honestly, I don't like that going, but
you pick Elon.
I want you to go.
You pick the Elon cows? All right. Sounds good, Sam. I figured you would.
I think the good news is that it's not going to be that frequent where that even is possible to happen, though, to have such trading going on.
Yeah, that was a special occasion, though, too.
It was a special year for sure.
I don't think you'll see that for a long time.
So anyway, as I was saying, the Musk Oxen have put together 3 games that are insane, But only 4 weeks ago, they were coming off 3 out of 4 games under 100, with basically the same players. The Lambs, meanwhile, have been constantly high scoring. Their average is 130 for the whole year, which is what I think like the third best, fourth best in league history. In the same time, though, they've been high opponent magnet scores. Like whoever plays them have done well. They're averaging 124 in the last 5 games for their opponent. Now that, I guess, statistically doesn't really mean anything, but sometimes it's just like karma, fate, whatever he wants to call it. He's certainly a believer in that stuff. I think the thing that I'm most excited about in this matchup is that we have the top 2 kickers in the league going against each other.
Brandon Aubrey and Chris Boswell.
Who will emerge? 2 teams.
The only thing that Chris Boswell has it going against him is if all of a sudden Baltimore starts scoring like crazy. He's not going to get any points.
I don't know. It doesn't seem to stop the Steelers from just kicking field goals.
41-3. Yeah, we'll just keep kicking.
How many games have they won by kicking more field goals than touchdowns?
I mean, there's a couple where they only kicked field goals. I think they got 18 points in field goals.
They absolutely did. Maybe this will be the game that he gets the record 7 field goals in one game. So when I look at this matchups, pretty tight projection scores. I don't know how you could say that that Alex has the edge with quarterback right now, though. The thing is, Alex's matchups kind of suck.
Yep.
His best players are playing tough teams. Jackson and Henry going against Pittsburgh. I know Pittsburgh's defense was not great against Philadelphia. I don't think Tomlin's team is going to bring in 2 in a row that are poor. Nico Collins and Joe Mixon against Kansas City. I know their defense isn't the greatest anymore, but it's still pretty much what's carrying them. So when it comes down to it, I think he's going to need to have Mike Evans going kind of crazy against Dallas and Kittle against Miami. Obviously, he's banking on his own team, giving up a lot of points to Detroit.
Yeah.
On some things there. I agree with kind of what you were saying earlier, that for his matchups, his projections seem a little on the high end. Yeah.
I mean, Mixon against
Joe
Kansas
Mixon has
City.
not been consistent lately.
Joe Mixon's he's been injured. He was limited in practice today.
But I mean, still, his last 3 scores are 8, 21, and 8. So I guess he's due at 21.
He's due at 21, but at the same time, Kansas City puts the least up against running backs. Pittsburgh puts up one of the least amongst quarterbacks. Now, that usually doesn't stop Lamar Jackson, but at the same time, you don't know.
Houston is also going against basically fate.
This is also a team that plays Lamar Jackson twice a year, so they know how to defend against him.
When Jackson played Pittsburgh in Week 11, he only
got 16 points.
Yeah.
This is his lowest score, I think, of the year.
Yeah, it is. So if they can do that, you're right. That's a team that knows Jackson. I mean, they've been playing him twice a year for many, many years now. They know what the Ravens are all about. They're a well-coached team. I think that it's obviously we know that Alex is a little flustered going into this matchup. He very clearly wanted to play Kara, even though she is not a team I would say it's not scary. It's going to be a tough one. So if we look over at Sam's side, though, he's got some friendliness. But now this could go the other way. Do you think the Buffalo puts up 48 points on New England? Are they going to just run up the score trying to get him MVP?
I don't know if they'll run up the score, but I just don't see New England is not a good team.
So they're up. They could be a situation where Allen is resting in the fourth quarter.
Could be. It'd have to be pretty high, though. I mean, it'd have to be like 35-7 or something like that.
I mean, I think for the most part, the Bills are primed to continue. I mean, the Patriots are giving up the 6th most to the run. They're giving up not too much to the pass there for Shakir, but they're giving up about halfway through. But again, Josh Allen is matchup proof, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Gibbs, meanwhile, gets a bump because Montgomery is gone. He is the guy now. He will be taking probably almost all. He'll be getting a bigger load, and he's against a team that gives up a lot of points to running backs.
Yeah, I would assume he's going to get a lot of points.
I still question, I don't feel super confident in his wide receivers. So he's been asking about this. Let's take a look at the waiver wire. Who's available on the wide receivers? The highest projection one would be Jordan Addison. He would probably have a decent floor. He's been pretty good lately. Not like super, super good, but.
So, Sam, I did notice that you took out somebody. You took off Rico Dowdle, which I think was an odd choice.
Who do you replace him with?
He replaced him with Breece Hall.
Dowdle's been pretty.
I don't know if I agree with that. Rico Dowdle has become the workhorse of the of the Dallas offense right now.
Absolutely.
He's rushed for 131 yards, and he rushed for 112, 131, and 149. Meanwhile, Breece Hall is all over the board, and yes, he has a higher projection, but that doesn't mean he's going to Breece Hall's been just, you don't know. The only reason, Breece Hall only rushed for 30 yards. The only reason he had 12 points last week is because he had two catches and 1 touchdown. So, I mean,
moving Dowdle to the bench.
Sam, I would, if I were you, I'd be putting Dowdle for Breece Hall.
I assume he was doing
it. And you can blame your loss on me if ends up being the linchpin, but.
I mean, Dowdle's going to get fed. Hall has been stuffed before, and the Rams have gotten pretty good lately.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think Dowdle's probably a better way to go there. If it comes down to receiver for him, I think the one I was just looking at is honestly Jordan Addison is probably worth a good look there. In the past 5 weeks, he's only had 1 not great game.
Yeah.
He's become a pretty big target for Darnold over there in his own personal MVP.
Yeah, that'd be actually a pretty good pickup. Actually, I might go pick him up right now.
Go block Sam from getting him. You better get on, Sam.
I got a lot of space. I have 2 empty roster spots still.
I know. I've been wondering about why you have all these.
I have nothing. I have no need. I haven't had to change my team in 3 weeks.
Well, Sam, I don't know who you should take now.
I won't take him. I don't need him. I wouldn't change Jordan Addison. I wouldn't put Jordan Addison in for anybody.
Sam, you better do it before Alex gets on and watches this. You're lucky that he's over with his other group tonight.
It's true. Although part of Garrett's over here, so I don't know where he is.
Maybe they traded spot.
Maybe.
So when I look at it all here, I think it could very well be a track meet. It could be a very high-scoring game between the two of them. I don't think Sam puts up 170 again, but who knows? Maybe they both put up 170. I don't know. That would be absolute bonkers. But I'm going to go ahead and pick, and this is against what I picked. Both of these picks are against what I did last week as my playoff predictions. But I'm going to pick Sam for a Sam Kara championship, which I believe would be a rematch. No, never mind. It wouldn't be.
Yeah, I'm not picking Alex, and that's not just because that's not because I.
Well, it would be. It would be a 2020 rematch. That was a Sam Kara championship.
Who? Sam Spencer. Wait, who should I pick up? Sam, you just texted us. Jordan, we were telling you to pick up Jordan Addison. He's the number 1 wide receiver right now in free agency.
Also, since you're on the group chat, you could read that question above there and give some answers. That would be terrific.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I have all days over winter break.
All days. It's on him. All right. So I would love to see again. I would love it to be a Muskox and QPC. I mean, honestly, it writes itself. QPCs are made of ground up Muskoxens.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
So
I like it.
And you guys have never played each other in the postseason. Let's make the first meeting.
That's pretty crazy.
when it comes down to it. So I think it's going to be an exciting one here. Let me take one last look. Who's got late games? Sam only has one Sunday night game right now with the kicker. Alex has Mike Evans, and that's it. So nobody has Monday night games. This one is going to be done on Sunday. And of course, we got some Saturday games this week, so people don't forget about that.
Yep. Can't wait till Sunday.
No, you cannot, because there's some big teams playing on Saturday so that they can then play on Christmas Day. The other matchup has a couple of Monday night games. So the one between you and Kara could come down to Monday night. It might, because you would have Alvin Kamara and Jordan Love going, and she would have Josh Jacobs. So it could come down to Monday night.
Yeah, I'm curious. I may just end up pulling Alvin Kamara just so I don't have to root against the Packers. I don't know. That bothers me. I know it doesn't bother some people. Actually, I don't think it bothers most people, but it bothers me. It's hard for me to root against my team.
Well, here's the thing, is I've done it a couple times this year even, and I am able to root for them to do well while losing. Like, feed that guy. Let him get a touchdown. Let him get some receptions, but let the Packers do more.
I mean, yes, I agree with that, but it's... I don't know. I mean,
any given week, I would rather the Packers win and my team lose.
Yeah.
But honestly, the Packers are... It's crazy, man. They can very well be a 6 seed with 12 wins this year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Insane how high this...
NFL North is a pretty...
division where the top 3 teams are that high? I don't know. Another crazy thing, despite everything the NFL does with the scheduling, if the Chargers and Broncos win and the Colts and Dolphins lose, the playoff field will be set for the AFC with 2 weeks remaining. There'll be nobody that's able to get in.
Oh, really?
I believe so, because right now the Dolphins and Colts are 2 games behind the Chargers, I believe. So if the Chargers win and they lose, it's over.
That is the NFL's worst nightmare right there.
There'd be nothing, like it would just be seeding and then a bunch of pointless matchups in the AFC.
Yep.
Now there is kind of a battle, I guess, with Mahomes' leg for the top thing. I don't know. 2024 is crazy. Here's a question I had. Thank you for bringing this up, Garrett. If you were an NFL team and you needed a quarterback and your only options were Kirk Cousins or Aaron Rodgers next year,
who would you pick? I think I go, oh, man.
Now, one comes with less drama.
I think Kirk Cousins could be better. I think he's just on a bad team. There's only so much. I was talking to Jordan about this, but Kirk Cousins' greatest achievement in the NFL is getting paid a lot of money.
He's going to get paid a lot to possibly be done with his career.
Yeah, like he's just been very good at getting a lot of money. And I'm not saying Kirk Cousins is bad, but he played really well in Minnesota, so you almost expect that he should have been playing well in Atlanta. But
did he have a full offseason?
What's that?
Did he have a full offseason, or was he rehabbing the whole time?
I mean, I'm sure he was rehabbing.
Because he could be a candidate for like this year back was bad, but now next year with everything, it bounces back. Whereas I don't think Aaron Rodgers is bouncing back. Plus, he carries so much baggage.
I don't know if I was a team in need of a quarterback, do you want to destroy? See, Kirk Cousins might not be great for your team, but he's not going to destroy the rest of your team. Aaron Rodgers will destroy the rest of your team.
There's another question there.
He has a disease.
Can Aaron Rodgers get on team next year? Is there a team that would take him?
It's going to be some desperate, I could see like a Cowboys or somebody. It's got to be some crazy owner.
Mike McCarthy?
Crazy owner, something like that, would take him, but that would be it. Like, there's no way any team like the like the Rams or anybody with like a decent coach wouldn't touch him with a 100-foot pole.
The thing is that he will not be going somewhere to be a backup. So
no,
it would have to be a team that is 100%. You're going to be our starter, and you're going to be our hope to get somewhere. And I don't know about any teams doing that.
Browns.
The Browns are dumb enough. The Browns.
They keep trying.
They could, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know if he'd go to a team like the Browns, though.
I mean, he went to a team like the Jets.
Yeah, but the Jets were like, it was supposed to be like Robert Saleh's coming in. He's revamping the defense, you know.
Well, here's the other question. Were the Jets actually just a quarterback away?
No.
Because everybody thought they were just a quarterback away.
Yeah, but everybody thinks everybody's team is just a one position away. As a Packer fan, I've always thought we were just, for the longest time, it was, well, we're just a top 10 defense away from a championship.
Well,
but then we get a top 10 defense, and then Aaron Rodgers falls apart.
The Browns are pretty broke for years to come, and the Falcons will be broke for a year or two as well.
It's true.
You got to be careful. I don't know. Is the league going to learn lessons from this? And
I think Minnesota should take a shot at Rodgers. I mean, like, complete the cycle.
Well, is Minnesota,
complete the loop.
Minnesota's going to lose Darnold next year because someone will pay him.
Complete the loop, Minnesota. Get Aaron Rodgers. He'll get you to the NFC Championship game, and then he'll overlook Jordan Addison because he has only eyes for Justin Jefferson, and it'll be like 4th and long.
The problem is that the Vikings have their next person already.
Yeah, but he needs a mentor.
Aaron Rodgers is not a mentor. He is not a mentor.
He needs a mentor.
I could see Sam Darnold going to New Orleans.
They're the Cedar team.
No, I just think Darnold's going to get paid by somebody more than
okay.
pay him.
So he won't get us anywhere.
Is he a Vikings fan?
Yeah, Garrett's a Vikings fan.
We got Vikings and Bears. What is wrong with these people? Is he from Minnesota at least?
Yes, Grand Rapids.
That's fair. You can be a Vikings fan. I'm sorry for your loss. They tend to have good regular seasons. They do tend to do that.
Where are my Vikings on before you, Garrett?
You look like Gary Anderson in that thing. There you go.
Go Vikes.
There you go. There you go. Your 2 losses.
I'm only missing the Lions. I got to get my Lions one. I have the Bears and the Vikings.
I'm looking forward to the Vikings-Lions matchup.
That's what I should have had is my Bears.
Sam, there's Grand Rapids in every state. You can check that fact.
There is a Grand Rapids, Minnesota. And Michigan. I've been to both.
Yeah. All right. Well, it looks like we kind of got through the stuff here. Big week ahead, obviously, because then next week is the championship week that we will have. The Josh and Todd, both of their seasons will end after this week. They will, if we keep the same matchup format next year, they will be rivals next year. It's a little unfortunate that I get to be rivals with the one guy that picked up extra picks, but they weren't like earth-shattering picks, so hopefully it's not terrible. Although the 3rd round had some good value.
Wait, who picked up extra picks? Jordan?
Yeah. He traded away 2 guys that.
That's right. He tried the same thing that I did.
By the way, if I had gotten that 2028 12th round pick for my Denver defense, I think you guys would be in for a treat 3-4 years from now.
Yeah, it's true.
So I won't forget that. When we get to that season, I'll be talking about what would I have gotten with that extra.
That backup tight end or backup quarterback
could have
been the best thing that could happen.
I read this one guy. I don't know if it's real, but it was on a thing, and he said that he's in a 64-team fantasy league.
That seems impossible.
Where
You'd have to have less players.
Where they have a half quarterback, so 2 teams share a quarterback.
What?
So each quarterback would have to be on 2 teams, and really every almost tight ends would have to be on 2 teams too. But you're just like, they're just scrounging for like, can I get a point from this guy?
See, I could see that where it was like I'd be interested to see like, oh, you have a 64 team and everything is flex.
So it's just a free for all.
It's just free for all. So you just can load up your team with whoever you want.
Get the 9 kickers if you want.
Yeah.
That would be something. That'd be something. I would think with a 64 team league, you would have scores that are like 25 to 18.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Be some pretty rough goes. Or what if you get like
just that one guy? I'm really hoping that my quarterback goes in at the end of the game this year.
Like you're talking about, a fumble making a big effect. It sure would.
Yeah.
In that league, I think so. All right. Well, good luck to everyone except Alex.
Yeah.
This next
good luck
week.
to anybody but Kara.
Yeah. And it'll be exciting to see how things play out. Again, remember, there are Saturday games. And then next week, because this will happen before we are on again, the games start on Wednesday.
Yeah, we're going to have to decide when we're going to stream.
So be aware of 2 big games on Wednesday next week, especially if you're in the championship.
I'd say I would stream on Monday, although I think I'm going to be gone. But
I'll be gone.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll have to see what we're going to do.
And the games wouldn't necessarily be over.
It's true.
So I don't know. Maybe I can hop on Tuesday. Tuesday morning is a Christmas. I don't know. We can talk afterwards.
That's Christmas Eve, right?
Yeah.
Maybe able to do Tuesday morning.
I don't think I'll be able to. I just remember that we'll have a family thing going on.
I could do Monday morning. I think.
Just kind of guessing who's going to get in there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I don't know how many Monday night matchups there are, but.
Well, you and Kara have the big thing. The other one will be decided. Alex Sam will be done.
Well, I guess it'll have to be. We'll have to see where we're at, because if it's like Kara's smoking me, and there's no way I can come back, then we can do it then. Maybe.
I might be able to do Monday morning.
We'll see.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. All right, folks. Have a good one.